Hey everybody, it's Lee with Life Hacks for You. Today we're going to be brewing some kombucha, which is pretty cool, some kombucha tea. So I'm not sure how long this has been around, but it's been around for a long time, and I've met people from Russia that said that they grew up with it and they knew all about it. And it's new to us because we're Americans, and it's pretty sad how that works. But anyway, when we get started, we're going to use 21 bags of tea in 24 cups of water. So 21 bags of tea. We're using a brand from Winco. It doesn't matter, but we like to use the tagless, so you're not getting bits of paper in there, possibly with ink on it or anything like that. But just 21 bags of tea, 24 cups of water. Bring it to a boil and let it steep for about 4 hours. That's step number one. Then we're going to remove all of the tea bags, and we're going to add 3.5 cups of sugar. So I like to just take the tea bags out, press out any extra tea that's left behind. Then we're going to add 3.5 cups of sugar. Alright, so we've added our sugar, and it's 3.5 cups of sugar, 24 cups of water, 21 bags of tea. We've already boiled the tea, we let it steep for 4 hours, now we've added 3.5 cups of sugar. Now we're going to add it to our 5-gallon food grade bucket. It's been painted black by my dad. He did a really cool job of hooking this up for us. He put a spigot on here and sealed it with some silicone. Really neat. Anyway, so here we go. We're adding this up. I've also put my whole automatic dispenser full of ice. It's early spring, so we're not really using much ice right now. And it really helps because we want to get the temperature down about 70 degrees. And when you put something that's been boiling even 4 hours ago, the water can still be 90 degrees or 100 degrees or more. So we want to bring down that temperature, and the ice really helps a lot. So cooler is better than too hot. Too hot will kill our SCOBY. A little bit too cool, it'll just slow it down. But not too cold. We want it to stay right around between 70 and 80 degrees. I think there's a special temperature that some people brew from, but I don't know what that is.
During this next step, it's important to use filtered water only.
Alright, so we've taken the tea that we brewed earlier, after we added the sugar, we added it to our 5-gallon food grade bucket, and then we filled the food grade bucket up to this first level here inside with water. Then when we took our SCOBY out of the 5-gallon bucket earlier to fill our bottles, now when you first start this, you're going to start with a small SCOBY, and it's going to take it time to get full size of whatever container you're keeping it in, and that just takes a little while. Ours brews our entire SCOBY batch, or excuse me, our kombucha batch, in usually about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So it just depends on, how mature the SCOBY is. We haven't separated this mother SCOBY in a while, so she's very mature, and I'll let you take a look at it. Now this clear layer at the top that you can see, some of this brown is just debris. After the SCOBY gets a certain age, it dies and kind of just sloughs away. But this clear layer right here, kind of opaque, is the healthy new SCOBY. When it gets about 2 inches thick, which is very close, then you'd separate the two. This one went through too long of a brew last time. So if you leave it in too long without enough sugar, it will start to die. And that's what happened to this one. So I'm not separating it. It's a little bit brown in the middle. I'm just going to stay on track and take care of it. When you transfer your SCOBY before you bottle, you want to leave about 4 cups of the original liquid behind. That gives it a new start in it's got a new fresh environment, but it starts to change the pH sooner, and that's what it needs. It needs a more acidic pH to get started, and that's what this 4 cups of the old stuff is. So we've added that. Now we're going to wrap it up. And it's really neat how my dad did this for us. He helped us get started, and he made this neat little gasket ring with a rubber band and looks like a wire hanger almost, but it's a little bit thicker material than a wire hanger. Anyway, get that on there, and we're ready to go. We're going to go put this in a warm place For the next week and a half to 2 weeks, I'm going to check it. I'm going to check how it tastes. It's got a special taste when it's almost ready. It's going to have more acidic flavor, and it won't smell strongly of acetic acid, but there'll be a hint of it there. You can tell that it's starting to do that. And then we're going to go to the secondary bottling stage. Hi everybody, it's Lee with Life Hacks for You, and today we're going to be brewing kombucha. We've been doing kombucha for a couple years now, and we get excited about it. So what is kombucha?
Next I tell you it's a mushroom, but it's actually just a bacterial culture that appears like a mushroom.
A bacteria, and it grows on sugar. So it lives on sugar. Here's a view of some scobies here that are in a bottle. Obviously, just keep them under the sink. You got to be kept at a nice temperature between 70 and 80 degrees. It just depends on how you do it. It'll grow faster if it's a little bit warmer, slower if it's cooler. But the thing about kombucha that makes it so good for you, it produces fizz. It has kind of a sweet taste when it's done. You can make it taste fruity, and it's really neat to have instead of soda. So there's a lot of families out there that drink soda, and soda's terrible for you. Everybody knows that. But what else are you going to do to have something nice to drink that's not bad for you? Kombucha's usually brewed in tea. It could be brewed just in water with sugar in it. It would be fine, but it really has a neat flavor when it's brewed in tea, and that's the way it's been done for a long time. The probiotics in kombucha are not transient like the stuff you get in yogurt. So in yogurt, you get transient probiotics, meaning that once they go through, they're gone. So these probiotics will stay behind and continue to work in your gut, helping you break down food. And that's the thing about bacteria inside of your stomach and other different kinds of enzymes and stuff. If it's breaking something down, it's going to help you digest more food, and you're going to be healthier because of it. So it also has some other vitamins and a few other things that are neat. It's a fun thing to do. You try it. If you like it, you decide you want to start brewing it. It's really simple. Just get yourself a hold of a SCOBY and usually get an instruction sheet with it. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to use some Ryan's Honey Crisp apple cider, about a tablespoon of crystallized ginger, so it's just sugar crystals on the outside. I brushed most of them off. About a tablespoon Ryan's Honey Crisp is going to be 1.5 cups of Ryan's Honey Crisp here in your average growler. So these growlers, we filled them with the 1.5 cups of the juice. We've used a tablespoon of the ginger, finely chopped into little bits. The more surface area on the ginger, the more it's going to release its flavor. So it turns out really good. Next, we're going to be filling them up. So we're going to fill up the bottles. So I brought in my 5-gallon bucket from the garage. It's a food grade 5-gallon bucket that I have painted black. My dad made all of this for us. He's just an awesome dad. He's really into being creative and making things, and he's a super inventor, let's say that much about him. But he put a spigot on here, sealed it up with some silicone, and then made this ring with a rubber band to keep it tight. And we're just using a pillowcase folded in half. That just keeps any dust or things floating around the air out of there. Then we just have another silicone tube. Do the connection here. I've already washed it out. Now the thing about kombucha is you're dealing with a living organism, so you don't want to use soaps or any harsh chemicals when you're cleaning things. Use hot water if you need to disinfect something. Other than that, most things just get rinsed out. And the thing about these bottles is one of the byproducts is acetic acid, which makes it really hard for other bacteria to live in this solution. That's why people drink kombucha a lot. Hasn't been treated in any way, and they're perfectly healthy and they don't get sick because of it. It's just hard for other bacteria to live in there. So I'll be filling these up. I'm going to fill them up about, maybe 2 inches from the top. And here we go.
All right, so we finished bottling all of our kombucha, and we came out with a 5-gallon bucket. You're going to get about 9 growlers full. There's 6 of the ones that we bottled earlier. You're going to set them on top of, I do it on top of my dryer. You just want to put them somewhere where they're going to stay at room temperature or a little bit warmer. And then in about 3 days, come by and check. Just open the top and let a little air escape. If you brew, this is the second ferment. During the second ferment, if you go for, let's say, 4 to 6 days, you're going to find you're going to get higher levels of carbonation as you go, up to the soda level, where it'll be, stronger than soda or more carbonated than beer. And that's where I like it. So it really depends on your taste. But it'll also gain in a flavor, the acetic acid flavor. So the vinegar flavor will get a little stronger the longer it sits as well. I usually start drinking it somewhere between 3 and 5 days after bottling. Our SCOBY is pretty mature, so we're going to be able to drink ours a little bit earlier. Your SCOBY might be new when you first get started, so it may take a little bit longer in the second ferment to get the flavor you want. Either way, I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Let us know what you think.